You're watching NFL Daily. I am Tom Downey, and CBS Sports has put out a list of their 11, and it's really 10 to be honest, Aaron Rodgers trade destinations. So I figured we'd break this down and look at all the different destinations, and most importantly, how the contract really makes things complicated for Aaron Rodgers. Now, from the contract perspective of Green Bay, it's not great. If they trade him before June 1st, they lose $8.69 million in salary cap space on top of what they are already set to pay him this upcoming year. That's a lot. If they trade him after June 1st, they actually gain about $16 million and put some money off into the future, so it works there. But as we'll get into more in depth in a moment, the 2023 option that exists on Aaron Rodgers' contract does complicate it quite a bit. Now, Aaron Rodgers this year, to be blunt, it's not good. It's not. It's been bad. He has not been nearly as good as he was in his MVP caliber seasons. All of his numbers are down. Now, he says he has a broken right thumb, and of course this comes out once they lose a game. He was quiet about it beforehand, blah, blah, blah. He's not going to get surgery, but I'm sure that is impacting things at least a little bit. But the biggest complication is the Packers are bad, Rodgers is bad. We'll see if that relationship is even good from that standpoint, is the contract. If Rodgers is traded, the new team owes him $15.8 million in 2023. That's super feasible. Here's the problem. That is only the cap hit if the team picks up his 2023 option that is money paid in 2025, $58.3 million worth. So you pick up the option now for money due 2 years from now, or his cap hit balloons to $59 million for 1 year. You can't make that happen. That's way too much money. If you pick up the option, he's got a $32.5 million cap hit, and then a $47 million option to be picked up for 2026, due a few days in the 2024 league year. So it's not just the 15 point and the 32.5. If you trade for Rodgers from a practical standpoint, you're committing to him for 2023, 2024, 2025 at minimum, and you're going to pay him a ton of money for a quarterback coming off a down year who's old and will probably do the whole will I retire, will I not retire thing. It makes it tricky. The option from all practical standpoints is a Rodgers' own retirement option, where if he retires, he does not get that money. If he does, or if he does not retire, he gets it. So it is one of the more complicated contracts you'll see, but that is very much worth mentioning. All right, let's hit now the Rodgers destinations. Number 11, this is the one that's not realistic. The Denver Broncos. They already paid Russ. If they cut Russ after this year, they own like $100 million on their cap. They can't make it happen. 82 if they trade him. It's just totally it is impossible to make that happen. So will Aaron Rodgers play for the Packers next year? I'm still going to vote yes, but I want to hear from you guys. Why for yes and for no? Will Rodgers play for Green Bay next year? It's the pinned comment. If the ad break comes on YouTube, take advantage of it. Head down there and let me know. All right, now the top 10. These are a bit more feasible. The Falcons are at number 10. I'd be surprised. They're not really in that aggressive win-now mold where they're kind of rebuilding without Matt Ryan. They've got some money coming up. They tried Desmond Ridder. I don't think they're the most logical fit, so I won't spend too much time on them. I think the Commanders, though, are a bit of an under-the-radar fit for Rodgers and for any team, any quarterback trying to find a new home. Derek Carr, or potentially Jimmy G, etc. Carson Wentz's release saves $26.18 million. You can pretty much slot in any quarterback you want, cap hit-wise, not per year money, but cap hit-wise, into that open slot. And Washington is in need of a franchise quarterback still. So I think it makes sense if the Commanders are going to risk it all to go get Aaron Rodgers, and Green Bay is open to doing so as well. With the post-June 1st trade stuff, would a team wait that long? That makes it a bit dicey. This Black Friday, your search for amazing deals on high-quality protein ends with ButcherBox. They take the guesswork out of finding high-quality meat and seafood that you can actually trust. You get just what you want delivered right to your doorstep, and they have free shipping for the continental U.S. and no surprise fees. A high-quality range of cuts that are hard to come by at the grocery store. It's easy to prepare, whether it's burgers, steaks, the bacon, etc. It's got great convenience. The cost is affordable, high quality, tastes delicious, as long as you don't burn everything. They take care of you. ButcherBox.com/NFL Daily is your URL. And this Black Friday, ButcherBox is offering our listeners one of their best steak deals. You get 2 10-ounce ribeyes free in every box for a whole year when you join, plus an additional $10 off. Sign up today at butcherbox.com/NFL Daily and use code NFL Daily. That is free ribeyes for a year, plus $10 off at butcherbox.com/NFL Daily with code NFL Daily. Link in the code in the comments section and in the description. Number 8, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. They're going to be in a weird spot this offseason where they'll probably win the division. I don't know/think if Tom Brady's going to be back again for Tampa. He might try to go maybe out west, go back home to a team like the Niners, or retire at long last. Their top 2 quarterbacks are free agents, Tom Brady and Blaine Gabbert. Kyle Trask, I don't think is very good. So I think the Bucs might go draft somebody still, but if they want to be aggressive still and make a big swing for Aaron Rodgers, could start to make sense. Again, this list is the CBS Sports list, so don't yell at me too much for it. Number 7, the New England Patriots. Now, of course, they don't have Tom Brady anymore. They are in kind of an awkward spot with 2 young quarterbacks in Mac Jones and Bailey Zappi, who are not bad, but they haven't quite fully established themselves as the team's franchise. I mean, that's really more of a Mac Jones comment than it is Bailey Zappi, who's the backup as far as I'm concerned. Both are under contract. I think the Patriots should be lower on this list. I don't foresee them going out and pursuing someone like Aaron Rodgers. Hell, they might rather have someone like a Jimmy G back on their team. If you want NFL, NBA, college football, MLB coverage, and a whole lot more year-round, hit that subscribe button for free videos every single day from the whole Chat Sports crew when you sub right now. Number 6, the New York Giants. They're in a very unique position, and kind of like the Seahawks as well, who, spoiler alert, we'll get to. Daniel Jones is a free agent after this season. And I think, like many of you watching, I have doubts of going that, yes, Daniel Jones is our unquestioned franchise guy. I don't think he's terrible, but I think if the Giants come up short, you go, yeah, DJ wasn't quite good. Now, they got receiver issues too, don't get me wrong there. The new regime is not tied to Jones. If you believe in Aaron Rodgers being your QB for the next 3 years, Giants should be all over trying to acquire Aaron Rodgers. This is one of the more fun ones. The Las Vegas Raiders at number 5 with, I assume, Josh McDaniels back at the helm at head coach. Derek Carr also has, of course, under contract, but a very unique contract situation. The Raiders have an out in Carr's contract after this year. His $32.9 million salary for next year and $7.4 of his 2024 salary don't become guaranteed until February. So as long as Derek Carr does not get severely injured, because that deal is injury guaranteed, but as long as the Raiders cut him before then, they actually don't owe him that money. So in theory, you could cut or agree to trade Derek Carr as part of a Rodgers deal or whatever, and then bring on Rodgers and make actually some salary cap savings from that standpoint for the Raiders, which to pair him up with Devontae Adams in Las Vegas would be both funny, ironic, and pretty humorous from that standpoint. So what team will Aaron Rodgers play for next year? We've got 4 more teams to get to, but I want to hear from you guys in the comments section. Make those predictions where you think Rodgers ends up in 2023. The Titans are at number 4 on the CBS Sports list, I should say. They were heavily linked last time around despite Ryan Tannehill being there, and that's pretty much the exact same spot Tennessee's at. They can save almost $19 million by dumping Ryan Tannehill. And the Titans have plenty of hefty contracts coming up. For example, Jeffrey Simmons. And they could try to pursue, if not Tannehill or Rodgers, an even cheaper contract at QB. Go young and spend some money on other positions. But maybe that front office coaching staff feels the urge to win a bit quicker, despite their immense postseason, well, not postseason, regular season success. Tennessee could make some sense there. Number 3, and I'm not on board with this one the same way maybe I would have been this time a year ago or a couple months ago even. The Seattle Seahawks, number 3 on this list. As weird as this is to say out loud, and it's not something I ever would have thought I would have said at any point in my life, right this moment, Geno Smith has outplayed Aaron Rodgers this year. No cap, Geno's been awesome this year for Seattle. Very accurate, avoiding turnovers, making plays with his arm. It's not just the supporting cast. Geno Smith should be your comeback player of the year. Now, he's also a free agent after this year, but he's a little bit younger than Rodgers. I don't know which route Seattle will do in terms of how much they pay Geno Smith. I think Seattle is too high on this list from CBS Sports. The other question is, what draft pick is aging Aaron Rodgers worth? You're thinking maybe 3 years of play from Rodgers at best if you trade for him. Is that worth the first? Still might be. I'm not sure. So let me know in the comments what draft pick you think Aaron Rodgers is worth. Number 2, the New York Jets. And this is where I think things start to make sense if they can make the contract, as challenging as that is, like we mentioned, work. Zach Wilson, who has now been benched, has been terrible. 55.6% completions, 4 touchdowns, 5 interceptions. That first-round pick for the Jets could be mid to late, and the Jets probably think they're close. There, of course, is A. LaFleur as their OC as well. If they could get aggressive and acquire Aaron Rodgers and even just like bench Zach Wilson or include him as part of a trade to Green Bay, then things start to make some sense. So I like the Jets here at number 2. And then at number 1, you might have been able to guess it, a homecoming of sorts for Rodgers, going back to the Bay Area. Number 1, the San Francisco 49ers. Now, the complication here is twofold. Jimmy G will be a free agent, and he might go to the Jets, for example, or somewhere else and be a starter because he is one of the 32 best QBs in the NFL. Low bar, I know, but he is. What's going to happen to Trey Lance this offseason? He hasn't played much football the last couple years. He's shown some flashes at North Dakota, even briefly with the Niners, but he's coming off an injury. They give up so much to get Trey Lance. Now they're light on draft capital again from the McCaffrey trade. It puts him in a very weird position where if you can get a properly elite quarterback in Rodgers, you could probably sell that move of not going to Lance again a little bit easier, but that makes it tricky, not to mention all the contract complications as well.